أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته الصلاة والسلام على محمد رسول الله and good morning. Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank all of my teachers, staff, and every member of Westover School who are supporting me and helping me. Also, a special and huge thanks to Joe Dexter for all your hard work, time, and helping me with my college essay and today's speech. I'm sure I would have not been able to express myself as well without your help. Every day is God's great gift that you can never hold on to because it will pass on. At times, you might experience different things, learn new things, or face stressful challenges which will make you think, I wish this were not my life. However, most of the time you experience better and happier things which make you wish to live longer, maybe forever. For all of us, I think childhood is the most sweet and memorable period of time. Children start seeing the beauty of life. Their understanding about different subjects, environment, and way of living increases, particularly if they have more opportunities. You might spend your childhood the best way your parents and situation could provide because you had great opportunities. It made your parents happy seeing you smiling and having fun playing with a new toy or even an old toy or maybe more than one toy. And you might have at least one storybook to read. Or maybe you spend most of your childhood in kindergarten and elementary school playing with other kids. Now imagine going back to that sweet moment, having no toy, or having only one toy, and you ask your dad to hang it on the wall because you're scared to lose it. And you do not have even one storybook. How would that feel? You might feel a bit sad, but it might not affect you much because you're just imagining it and you did not really experience it. But for me, that was my childhood. Staring at only one beautiful dog, which I call Arusak. It means bride. She was so beautiful, and she had golden curly hair and blue eyes. She had pink colored puffy dress. That's why I call her Arusak. I did not have any storybook, and I've never been to kindergarten. So I spent most of my time chatting with Arusak. I had a small red colored spotty pillow. I laid down, putting my head on my pillow on the space where I could see Arusak bed. And I lay for a long time just staring at Arusak and talking to her and told myself stories about Arusak. And showing her funny faces. But she never looked at me. She always looked straight to the other wall. And she never laughed at my funny faces. The night my family and I had to flee from Iran to Pakistan, we had to leave in the middle of the night. I knew there would be something good where we were going, if we could get there. Because we were leaving, so my siblings and I could get an education.
Yeah.
But we only bring the most important things, carrying them on our backs. Therefore, our side had to be left behind, which was the hardest moment of my childhood. When my dad took our sack down from the wall, her eyes closed. There was a little bit of dust on the box, but when I cleaned it, still our sack looked shiny and lovely. I left her on the floor like she was sleeping because I did not want her to know that I was leaving her alone forever. I wished then that I had taken her out of the box. Here is one of my poems about that time that I would like to share with you. It's called When I Was 6. Mom was holding my hand tightly, as tight as she could. Brothers, older sisters holding hands. Everyone carrying at least something. Dad carrying grandma on his back. The warm weather, darkness everywhere. Fear all over our bodies. The voice of the people a snaggler in our ears. Fast, hurry, run, this way, quiet, crouch down, stop, freeze, stay awake. The rough road, the sharp stones. Mom, my slippers got holes. My feet are hurting. Be quiet, my dear. We will be there soon. Mom, my slippers are gone. They broke completely. Carry on, my love. It's fine. Can we relax for a bit? No, hush. I'm tired, hungry. The stones are hurting my feet. Finally, a smile from the smuggler. Congratulations, we have passed the border. Thank God we are alive. At that time, in order to get education, my parents and I needed to leave Iran, where we have lived since we first left Afghanistan when I was 3 years old. And finally, I could go to refugee school in Pakistan for the first time. The first day I joined the refugee school in Pakistan was a very exciting and happy day for me. There were 40 students packed into one bare classroom with a window and a board. The blackboard and chalk surprised me. And I found it magical. I enjoyed writing on the board and listening to the sound the chalk made. Every day I looked forward to going to school. However, after we moved back to Afghanistan 4 years later, the school there was completely different. There were shells of buildings and everything was broken. We started our first few weeks of the school on the ground in the open air with the sun shining above us. It was very warm in the summer term and very cold in the winter term. We didn't have enough teachers and only a few of us got books, the rest borrowed and copied. I stayed awake the whole night and copied every single word from each precious book that came my way. For the first year, my father walked with my sister and me to our school at 6 o'clock in the morning and walked us back home at 12 o'clock in the afternoon because of fears about our security. Every bad thing was possible to happen, and especially with the students who were girls. After a few months, we got tents, which was a big improvement. Although sitting on the ground for such long periods caused infection and pain in my legs, sometimes during the winter in my exam time, I could not use my pens. because they did not work in such cold weather. Nevertheless, I still felt I was getting somewhere, even if the pace seemed frustrating and slow at times. Besides not having enough opportunities to study, sometimes the students were beaten by teachers using a thick book and hit on the back of their head, or a metal ruler to hit their hands. Or sometimes teachers put pins in between our fingers and squeeze it like this to punish students who were running around or did not have their homework. I was sometimes beaten, not because I did not have my homework. In fact, I was one of the favorite students of my teachers, but I insisted that we play basketball, which was the only sport I knew, and that we run. But unfortunately, we studied sport like a history subject. We memorized how to play basketball, the date it was discovered, who first played basketball. Then we had exam. We never played basketball because we did not have opportunities. If you wanted to get a good position in your class and you wanted to get a full grade in sport, you needed to memorize every single word that your teacher read and then you wrote it down. However, I do not blame the teachers I had. Even though I was beaten because I was running around, by that time Afghanistan had been at war more than 35 years, and it had affected them badly. I'm sure they also do not like hitting their students. Despite all of the problems, I still love going to school and studying. I've always appreciated and thanked my teachers who have taught me. Now, imagine if you want to do something good and important, with someone who does not know anything, who's illiterate, harassed you or scared you to try to stop you from doing this valuable thing. What would you do? In Afghanistan, some Afghan men have the mindset that women do not need an education. They think that a woman's job is to stay at home and to take care of the family. And so a woman should not be exposed to the world outside of her house. Even though my family has always been supportive of my education, I have still faced many challenges for living in a society that does not support women's education. However, I've never feared confronting those challenges, despite facing risks to my life. I followed my dream to educate myself and to raise awareness of education to families who were not allowing their daughters to go to school. I believe in change, and that's where change can happen. I've not feared trying to make even a little difference and standing up against such bad views in my community. I've started from myself. I've not feared getting hurt in order to go to school, even though it could have cost my life. When a girl goes to school, she could be followed, harassed, and threatened by close-minded men in Afghanistan. Once on my way to school, a man threatened me with a cricket bat to discourage me from going to school. I tried talking to him in order to explain my purpose for going to school, which is to get an education for a better future. He was not willing to listen. He threatened me, saying, "I will hit you." Even though I was nervous, I felt confident. I told him, "If you are brave enough, then hit me." He stared at me and left me alone. I am only one example of many other young girls who are passionate about their education. In another situation, many girls and I almost died for going to school because someone had left a bomb attached to a motorbike next to our school. These are only two examples that show to reach your dreams as a girl, you might have to fight for it. But there are so many others that are so worse off. At this moment, you seniors, those who have already applied to university, you might be so stressed to find out the decision. Or if you already know where you are going, you might be so happy. And congratulations. And you might not, probably you might not have any stress. Freshmen, sophomores, and juniors. You might be stressed with the pressure from your parents to come to school, or with the work you are being asked to do by your teachers, or other personal reasons that we might not know. But my main concern every day, all the time, is about my family who are in Afghanistan. Every time an explosion happens, it shakes me in the ears. I start panicking, and I will not become calm until I hear from them that they are fine. We are all so lucky to be here now in peace and quiet, with so much we can do every day without fear. Even though I did not have the perfect or even a nice childhood or a great life, still I consider myself lucky because it could have been worse. As it is for so many other young girls. And I'm so grateful of God for giving me the chance to live in this world. Now appreciate the life you have and opportunities you have. Be thankful for your parents and teachers every day. Every day thinking you will not have this opportunity that is before you, here, now, any other day.